Hi everyone, Michael Anfield here, and I'm tired because I was actually in my bed and I'm gonna go to sleep. I was just listening to an audiobook, but I had this thing in my mind. I don't know if I created a video of it before, but here it goes. Don't forget to visit my website. It'll be up very shortly in about a month or so. weareinterconnected.com. So put that on your bookmark list. And don't forget also that all my books can be found on Amazon and throughout the world, everywhere. How to Create the Perfect Vegan Life is coming out in paperback format. So that's coming out. And what else? That's about it for news. So I had this thinking, okay. And of course, I don't know if this is really true, but this is what I believe that thousands of years ago, or tens of thousands, or hundreds, whenever we were in that so-called utopia or Garden of Eden's world, we were doing a lot of foraging. So we were walking basically for a lot of the time. Whatever time we wanted to rest, we would sit and rest, and that would be that. But a lot of times we would play, we would walk around, and whenever we saw delicious edible food, we would eat that food. Now, the most edible food to our eyes would be brightly colored food, especially food that is sweet to the nose, that is soft to the hand, and of course that can fit in a hand. And so we have to understand that tropical fruit, because it seems like that we were all, you know, born and came out of the tropics. And I believe that's so. So when we were walking in the warm weather, so-called naked, or at least semi-naked, we came up to a fruit tree or some kind of fruit berry bush or whatever, and we understood that this was food. We did not understand that lettuce was food, or that chicken was food, or that another animal or no, or cow's milk was food. Maybe there was no such thing as the domesticated cow or cattle that we know now, today. And so we, I believe, that we came upon a tree and we devoured the fruits until we were satiated, until we were full. We would either rest for a little bit or just keep on trekking along or enjoying the scenery or whatever we would do. I'm not entirely sure because I wasn't there. And we would rarely would we be drinking water, if that, because all the water would be contained in the fruit. And when you think about how we prepare a lot of the food today, of course, we definitely don't juice and we definitely don't blend our food. But sometimes in this imperfect world, we got to do what we got to do. But if you think about the vegetables that we we so-called eat and so-called see as superfoods, like kale, for example, we cannot eat a whole head or whole, what do you call it, like a bunch of kale. We just can't eat it like that without actually making it into something, putting it either into our smoothies as for a green smoothie, uh, cooking it, like steaming it, or just putting it in a stir fry or something, or making some kind of salad with it and putting dressing on it. We can't seem to just eat it like that. If you're walking along Garden of Eden and kale or other greens would not be appetizing to us. Therefore, is it really a food source? We should be eating our food. I feel we should be eating our food raw, and preferably ripe when it comes to, of course, fruit. And so we understand that that's what we need to do when we come to a patch of greens, like salad greens. Are we really going to be, attracted to those greens? Yes, if we cut it up and we put it into a bowl, we mix in some avocado and we mix in, some dressing or of some sort. But otherwise, not just like that. We're not going to eat the colored collards just like that, or the kale just like that. Maybe the iceberg lettuce just like that. Maybe the Boston lettuce just like that. But the darker greens, no. And even that, like, I wouldn't want to sit down to eat a whole head of Boston lettuce or a whole head of, um, iceberg lettuce. Though of course, I did on occasion because I just had that feeling of doing so. I had the taste for doing so. But when it comes to it, when you're in nature, when you're walking along, of course, we're not in that situation again. I'm talking about what is the most natural thing to do, what the most natural thing to eat, to do. So walking along and you don't smell animals from far and say, wow, what a beautiful aroma. I would love to sink my teeth into that animal. We don't have that inclination. We don't have an inclination to drink the milk from another species of animal. We don't have the inclination to eat eggs from another species, even our own species, for that matter. We don't have the inclination to eat even nuts in nature. We don't have even the inclination to eat greens or any vegetable in nature because it doesn't tantalize our smell. It doesn't tantalize our 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 like ability to really, well, first of all, visualize the piece of fruit. When you're walking along, you see the brightly colored fruits. Amazing. And some of the fruits, for example, are not so brightly colored. And that is probably a reason. Maybe we shouldn't be eating those types of fruits. Maybe nowadays we do, but maybe we shouldn't be eating those types of foods because the foods with the highest or the brightest colors, like berries, for example, have certain antioxidants in them. Again, I look to the food as a whole thing, so not by nutrients, but the color itself is an antioxidant. And of course, the darker and the more vibrant food, and the further the way you stand from the fruit, and if you can smell it from your arm's length, for example, or even a little bit further, you'll know that it is the perfect food. Of course, foods in supermarkets are way inferior, but then in some way they're better in some way because over eons of time they've been bred to contain, be sweeter, contain more sugar and everything. And fruit does not cause diabetes. It's fat. How Not to Die. How Not to Die. Michael Greger talks about that in his book, How Not to Die. Go to nutritionfacts.org. And fruit is the perfect food. Actually, in fact, they've tested people eating 20 servings of fruits a day. Even I think he mentioned something like 40 or 45 servings of fruits a day. Oh no, sorry, was it? No, it was 20 fruits and 43 servings of vegetables. But 20 servings of fruit was the so-called scientific test that proved that there was no detrimental effect. In fact, it seemed to be beneficial for the body. Again, I don't really hold on to scientific, you know, studies, but this is amazing what even herding culture science comes up with, that fruits do the body good. Not milk, not eggs, not meat. In fact, that's total opposite. Science says that meat, dairy, and eggs, no matter in what shape and what form, if it's organic or not, is detrimental to our health. And less is not better. None is preferable. That's the video for today. Thanks for watching. Yes, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. I don't know about this mouse, but I dropped it on a number of occasions, so why does it happen? Let's see. That's about it, guys. Thanks for watching.